And we are live. Welcome to another episode of Cookin It With Ayydé. It is my fault. I was running super late this morning. Everybody's like, where are you? What's going on? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. I woke up late and I backtracked, both of us. But on this episode of Cookin It With Ayydé, I have a very special guest. I have my girl, Malaynah from Boyle Heights. We're going to learn more about her career, what she has going on, and she's going to share her ceviche recipe. So Malaynah, she's actually here with me, you guys.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
All right, Malaynah. So I told you that I normally make ceviche, but I don't use jaiba.
Yes.
And you said that was like one of the first things. She's like, we'll need some jaiba. So here's the jaiba. We have our bowl here. And I know we're going to need shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do with that jaiba? I have a bowl of shrimp right here ready.
Okay, so I like jaiba with the shrimp because it's like the best of both worlds. So let's shred this first and then maybe cut those in half. That way they're just not as big. And then we'll throw them in together.
All right. So let me fix my hair over here. Boom. I'm going to do the cutting of the shrimp. Let's see how fast I can do this.
I know, this is like probably like the most tedious part.
Everybody's like, you could just throw that in the bowl.
I know, huh?
Everybody's like, where are they? All right. So I had promised Malaynah that I would already have all this cut, and then I put her to work when she got here. I was like, ponte a cortar los pepinos. And she got right to it, which I really, really appreciate. So when did you start doing this recipe?
You know what? I barely learned probably like a year ago because my Uncle Mondo used to make like some bomb ceviche. And I always was like, oh my God, like how does he do that? So one day I like just sat there and like I watched him do it. And it's really like just about like, it's kind of like a big salad. Like it's just about cutting and putting it all together. It's not really like you got to sit there and cook anything. So it's like, well, that's right up my alley.
Well, you also do something else. You use a ceviche, a shrimp that's different than what I normally use. Oh, really? So I normally use the raw ceviche, and then I let it lay overnight in lime juice. So the lime juice cooks it. But you asked me to pick up cooked shrimp, which is why these are a little bit pinkish. They kind of look like the jaiba. So yeah, the lime juice cooks it. So I'm really excited to try your recipe because it's a lot different than mine. Is there anything else that you like to make in the kitchen?
I can make like really good shrimp tacos.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm like all with the seafood. No, I can make really good.
So you can never go wrong on that.
Same. Honestly, I could eat that all the time. But I learned how to make like this really, really good shrimp like fried tacos recipe from YouTube. I'm telling you, everything you want to learn how to make is on YouTube. So don't feel like
if you're watching this right now, there's a lot of other people watching it too, trying to learn. And for those, they're probably wondering like, how much of that are you using? So this is a pound of shrimp and a pound of jaiba. And jaiba is imitation crab too. So in case you don't speak Spanish, you can still look it up, and it's really easy to make. And like Malaynah said, it's like basically think about this big salad. Yeah. We always make fun of like a lot of Mexican dishes because we're like, if you just follow the recipe for picadillo, which is, or pico de gallo, tomatoes, cilantro, onion, and maybe some cucumber every now and then. You switch out some stuff with some chile, and there, boom, you can make anything. Exactly. It's really easy. What is like your favorite food to eat?
Oh my God. Are you serious?
You could only pick one thing that you're gonna eat for the rest of your life.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, that is so hard. That's probably like, you know what too? Because my grandma cooks so many things, and it's like, it's so hard to
name like one thing that you love at your grandma.
Birria tacos.
Ooh, that's, you know what? Birria tacos have really been like exploding all over the place. Like,
dude,
I just love birria on its own, but the taco thing, it's a thing now.
Exactly. It's good because it's like they kind of come like with the cheese and like it melts with the consomme and everything. So it's like, that's a vibe. I could eat that all day. It's probably not the best thing to do, but it's so good.
I mean, there's a lot of things that aren't the healthiest.
Right, but it's so good.
Especially when it comes to Mexican dishes.
I know.
Because it's just like the way that we've learned to make things, but I think that there's ways around it.
Right.
Did you ever like have to cut or kill the chivo to make the birria? Have you ever gone through that?
Oh my gosh, no.
When I was a little girl, I experienced that and it sucked. Like I saw my dad and my uncle killing the little baby goat, whatever, to make the birria, and I was really traumatized, but obviously not that traumatized because I still ate the birria out there. But my dad was like, si no puedes matar el chivo, entonces no puedes comer la birria. And I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, they weren't cruel to it or anything like that. I mean, it's cruel to kill it, but still, it's really traumatizing. And he made me do it with like a chicken head. He made me cut off a chicken head, and that was traumatizing as hell.
Dude, oh my gosh.
You're not traumatizing enough for me to go vegan, though.
Right? I know. I always see like those trucks with the pigs, and they go to like farmer boys. You know what I'm saying? And they get like slaughtered. I'm like, oh, they taste so good, though.
I know. It's really sad. I mean, I feel like there's a way, hopefully, you know, because I've seen a lot of different documentaries, and it's really sad that there are, unfortunately, places that don't practice. Like, I don't know. I guess when you're talking about killing an animal, you know, like what is the most
like safe way,
humane way to do it, you know? And it sucks because I'm like, I don't know how, you know, you're still killing
the animal.
The animal. I just think that there's also really horrible practices out there. I've seen like the farmers like hit them and just do all this evil, unnecessary, cruel things. That's like not cool. But yeah, when my dad made me do that, I was like, this sucks. But I mean, he kind of had a point, you know, like
it did,
you should be able to face and kill whatever it is that you're trying to eat, or you shouldn't be trying to eat it. So I didn't have to go kill the shrimp. It's already done. And I have no idea what imitation crab is made out of.
Why is it
I just thought about this. I just thought about this as we're talking about
like
the food.
Why isn't just crab? Why is imitation, guys? I don't know.
Does anybody know why it's called imitation? Because it clearly it's not real. That's why it's called imitation. But then what is hiva made out of? Somebody Google that for me.
I may not even want to know.
Google is free. Maybe we can ask Alexa. Alexa, what is imitation crab made out of?
According to Wikipedia, crab sticks, imitation crab meat or seafood sticks are a type of seafood made of starch and finely pulverized white fish that has been shaped and cured to resemble the red meat of snow crab or Japanese spider crab. It is a product that uses fish meat to imitate shellfish meat. Shigeo Company, Limited of Japan, first produced and patented imitation crab in 1974.
All right, cool. Thank you, Alexa.
By the way, I can learn your voice to improve your Alexa experience.
Okay, thank you. Stop, Alexa. You're embarrassing me. She just went off and off and off. So, pretty much, imitation crab is made out of.
It's like fish meat, but basically like formed to look like shellfish.
Huh? So they're kind of like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's all the scraps that they have. You need some help over here?
Yes,
let me help you. Look.
This is like the most tedious part.
Pulling it apart.
Yeah, I hate doing that. Because if you do it too big, then it's like,
Did your mom have you like doing this when you were little, like helping her deshebrar?
You know what? I always dodged.
You dodged it? How?
Because I'd rather do the dishes than do this.
What? You rather do dishes than this?
I know.
Literally. No, I hate doing the dishes. Is probably like my number one thing that I hate about cooking is the cleaning. It's like I will cook all day long, but the cleaning it sucks. That's why I try to like clean as I go. Let's see, crab or Japanese spider crab. It's called product that uses fish meat. Oh, he just repeated what Alexa said. Oh. I'm not reading it.
Just copy and paste that.
Copy and paste it. Thanks, guys. I would have invited, but it's not. What? I don't know how to read. I think one of my contacts is out now that I'm looking at this. I'm trying to. The serranos. I was cutting serrano peppers earlier, and then I washed my cutting board, and like the fumes of the pepper like just crawled up. They're like, we're gonna get you some way somehow, because I was telling Malaynah how to not cry from cutting onions. Like my secret is my contacts, because they protect me. And the serranos were like, well, they don't protect you from us. They might have protected you from the onions, but not from this. Okay, so let's see. This is really tedious.
I told you. You want to put it back here.
Yeah, let's see. So, boom. Getting this all mixed up. I need to get bigger bowls because it's going to be real tight in here.
Oh my gosh, Costco. Do you have a Costco card?
No, I don't.
Costco is your friend, dude.
Okay.
Costco.
They have bowls there?
Yes, they have everything.
What?
I haven't been.
I can't even think of the last time I went to Costco.
You know what though? It's just I hardly go. I have to like mentally prepare myself to go in there because there's so many people. So many people in there, and then the carts are huge. You know, everything's like jumbo size.
Well, see, maybe that's why I don't go to Costco because I don't have a family to buy for. Like, usually I'm just cooking for me and my boyfriend, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So it's 2 people. So it's like, what am I gonna be at Costco buying in bulk for? Like,
I know,
food?
dude. Because once like they have like this big thing of like toilet paper or like napkins, you'll have to buy that thing for like another year.
Well, I mean, all the people that were like rushing in the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh my gosh,
I still don't know why people were
did that. I know.
Going through that toilet paper like that. Like there was no tomorrow. Like I don't know if it was a side effect or what. Malay, was there something that you went to the store for like early on when everything was running out that you couldn't find?
I honestly like Lysol. Anything like disinfectant was just like gone, even like down to like dish soap.
That has been still to this day. I still can't find wipes. I went to Target the other day and they had like, their bootleg brand or whatever. And they still have it like super limited, but it's not the same. Like I really like the Lysol brand wipes. Like I use them for the counters all the time. Even though I still use like bleach to wipe them down, especially because like these are white counters and I feel like bleach really does disinfect and takes away all the manchas and stuff. So I will do that, but I still just like the wipe, like just for a quick clean, like in between, like now, for example, I would be using one, but we're really limited. So we're going to save these. I think that's good. Pretty good as it is like that. Boom. Okay. So, what is the next step?
Okay, after this, you're going to put the lemon juice.
The lemon juice?
Yes.
Lemon juice is this one. Because I remember it's this.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
Lemon juice.
That's it, and kind of like mix it around.
Mix it. Go ahead. I'm going to grab a spoon.
Do the lime just to like, so it flavors the fish meat and stuff, or whatever imitation.
The imitation crab. Just move it around.
And then you're gonna do. Then it's your preference of how you want to throw the rest in. But we could do the onions too because it's more flavorful.
Let's do onions.
And then you could do
serranos.
Yep. And then
let's see. Hi, my avocado. Excited for this ceviche. What up, BC? It's going to come out bomb. Where is the tapatio salsa? I don't have any. Is she cries? I'll break her head. Who cries? Sad but kind of funny. My friend says she cried so much. Oh, you guys are talking about the onions and crying. I was like, wait, I'm so late. I was like, what kind of drama? What in the drama is going on over here? We're over here cutting things. That's what happens when I'm late to the thread. My bad, y'all. Oh, wait, can I put this in here?
Yeah.
You guys, I've been saying that I need to get like bigger bowls. I think that's good, huh? Yeah. Get that piece out. I need to get bigger bowls because this is like, let's see.
You honestly might want to just use your hands.
My hands?
Yeah.
Make it easier?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, do you want to put this is going to be interesting, you guys. Me and my little tiny ass bowls.
I know. It's so good. We can make it work.
This is the crucial part.
Usually too, like I get like a tray, you know those throwaway trays, like the metal ones? Or like the foil.
That's where you make it?
Yeah. But this is good too because it's just me and you.
But you know what? You're absolutely right. I should have gotten one like that.
It's all good.
Like a throwaway. I just saw a whole ass shrimp in there somewhere. And the shrimp just fell out over there. Okay, that's as good as it's going to get right now because it's tight. You know what I could do? What I can do, I can transfer. No, we're just going to have to make it on that.
Okay.
Oh, well.
That's fine.
You know what? We're about to make this. Sorry, guys. I'm about to switch this up real quick. I'm about to get my cazuela.
Oh, let's do it. I think that's way better.
This is going to be easier for us. Wait, is it even that much bigger?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit wider. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to transfer this into a pot.
Yes. Okay.
If you're just watching, I just want you to know that no, we're not going to put this on the stove. But my bowl is too small. I need to go do that today because this is like the third time this happens to me with these bowls. My bowl's too small, so now we've moved it to my pot. And I'll show you like this. Go for it. Now you're going to put the pepinos in there. Boom.
And continue to just like mix it around.
Mix it. And now I could put the rest of the tomates in there. That didn't fit in the other one. Because the tomates are about to like be left out. Cilantro. Always need some cilantro. Yeah. We're making ceviche. So we had to switch out from the clear bowl to my pot because my clear bowl was clearly not big enough. So here we have our ceviche, and the ceviche has red onion in it, tomatoes, lemon juice, imitation crab, shrimp, serrano peppers, cilantro, of course, and cucumber.
That looks so good.
It already smells delicious, just fresh too. People were like, "Why are you putting it in a pot?" Because my clear bowl wasn't big enough, so you gotta improvise. You gotta improvise all the time. Okay, so that looks pretty mixed. Are we gonna put the lime juice in there now?
Yes, then throw the limes in there.
So now this is about 8 limes in here that Malaynah squeezed by hand. I want you guys to know. Gotta give her credit. Boom.
Someone said, "Is ceviche a type of salad?" How would you say that? Like, yes and no.
In a sense, it is.
Yeah.
It really is, because if you look at this now, this looks like a salad. You could call a ceviche a salad. I mean, it's not like a soup. It's not something that we put it over the stove. I think you could consider it a salad.
Kind of like a seafood salad. If you think about it.
This is what it looks like. All right, so we don't need this cutting board anymore, right? We're done with that.
Yes.
All right, and now do you put salt or pepper in it at all, or you just use?
Also, and I put tahini. That's what really sets it up.
That's a different. Now, using tahini and ceviche, I've never done that, but this is Malaynah's recipe, so
it's pretty good.
Let's see.
It's pretty good. Again, like I said, I like my spice. So we also how many did we throw in there of the serrano?
We put 4. We put 4 serrano peppers in there.
I like my spice. Okay, so if you're not really a spice person, maybe eliminate this factor. But I don't know. It's the way I do it.
Let's see. So I'm putting some salt in here first. Move this around. Moving it. I could smell it. I love the smell of ceviche.
Yeah, it smells so good.
Well, when it's fresh, because some people, I remember I went to this restaurant and the ceviche smelled. I was like, bro, like ceviche should not smell.
Bad. Yeah.
Like if you get fresh fish, fresh shrimp, fresh anything seafood, like it shouldn't have like this
stench.
Yeah, it should not. If it stinks, don't eat it. Don't get it. Run away.
Bad.
Run fast. And then I'll let you toss in that tahini in here.
Okay. I only put like a little, like that. That's
okay.
Because then you're gonna put pepper in. That's perfectly fine.
Boom. Okay.
You see, like the smell too.
Yeah.
This thing sets it off. I'm telling you.
Okay. So there is our ceviche. This is Malaynah's recipe.
You see all the juice too?
I see that juice is the juice is the best. This is what I'd be fighting for. The juice at the end. Call the dibs on the juice. There is our finished result. This is what we have here. All right. So now we're gonna indulge.
Yes.
And I'm gonna get to know you a little bit better. I'm gonna get these plates because they're a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And you can't have ceviche without tostadas, of course.
Yes. I wish you guys could smell this. This smells like so fresh. It smells so good.
When I have time, I like to make my tostadas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've never tried that.
All you have to do is fry like in oil. There will be different. It's not going to be like these.
Yeah.
But they still come out really crispy. You get a tortilla de maíz, and you just put it in the stove with some hot oil. You like fry it. And then you take off all the excess. But you got to really, really fry it para que te quede bien doradita.
Right. I know sometimes too, like another thing you could put if you like crema, A lot of people put that on like the tostada before you put your ceviche on.
I don't know if I put too much on here for you.
I think that's good. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
okay.
yours. You go first.
Thank you.
Hold on, I'll go second. Let's see. I only like to take like one little bite. I hate eating on camera.
I know, same.
We're gonna take like a first little bite. We won't keep it cute.
We don't keep it cute. Yes,
we won't
do.
keep it cute.
Yes.
I'll put this over here. Actually, I'm gonna put a lid over it. I'm gonna just put it in the fridge for now. Putting it in the fridge, you guys. Would you like some lemonade or water?
I can have the water, please.
Water.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Malaynah, when are you gonna drop a new song? Ooh, girl, I just dropped a new song probably like about a week ago. It's called Ain't It Funny. It's available on all platforms, so go stream it. It's one of my favorites, actually.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it and Ain't It Funny.
Exactly.
I have questions for you.
Maybe go run and listen to it really quickly.
Go stream it right now. You have some time. And then maybe you guys can ask some more questions.
Yes.
Okay, you ready? Let's do this.
Cheers.
Cheers. Vamos a probar esto. That's yummy. I taste that tahini. Fire.
Super good. Oh my god, my lips just came out.
So
So good.
Look at this, y'all.
Delish.
This is really good.
Did you taste the serranos?
Malaynah and I were talking about how we both like serranos better than jalapenos. For me, it's really rare that I like jalapenos for something, but I will always prefer a serrano over a jalapeno because it just have more
it's more like
flavor.
I was about to say it's like a richer flavor.
It's so good. All right. So Malaynah, you're getting through your ceviche. But obviously I found you on Instagram. I believe it was a freestyle over Cardi B's Money. And I was like, who is this girl? Like, because you were just spitting bar after bar. And it was just so refreshing to see a young lady spit with depth. Like there was more than just freestyling to freestyle. How did you first get started into writing or to try to become a musician and an artist? What got you into rap?
I honestly just think like that was my therapy. Like, you know, when you're a kid, like some people like, do I have anything on my face?
No, you don't.
Okay. Some people like play sports and stuff like that, or like, you know, they have their different forms of like their outlet, and that was my outlet. Like seriously, I think that was my outlet in a lot of ways, and I think that's why you hear the depth in my like when I'm spitting too, because it's not spitting like I don't rhyme, like I actually say something, you know. So I think that was just my therapy at the time, like when I was like 11, and then it just stuck with me ever since. Like it really helped me through so much.
Would you write like in journals? Like what was that process like from either you writing in journals to you actually either performing? Would you spit for like your friends? Like what was that transformation from paper to, I guess, public?
You know, when I was in like high school, so like I started rapping like in like the 8th grade. Never told a soul because that was just like I said, that was my bubble. That was my form of like, you know, like my therapy. So I never told a soul at all. And when I got into high school, I went to a performing arts high school. Shout out VAPA.
Hey.
And I just was like, maybe I'll come out of my shell, you know, because I'm in a performing arts high school and like other people are like, you know, kind of the same as me in a sense. And that made me more like timid. So I just like stood in my shell and I just like, that was my comfort zone. So I don't know, like I just didn't come out until I was like 18 when I left high school, and I kind of just like shit got real a little bit. So it's like, what do you want to do? Like, you know, I'd rather focus and put my time and my energy in my dream instead of like my nightmare, you know?
Were you surprised at the response from the public when you put that out?
Yes, it was like a huge overwhelming thing because it was kind of like when I left high school or graduated high school, it was like, okay, now where are you going? Like, what are you going to do? You don't have to get up in the morning. Like, it's really, you become an adult, like, overnight.
Right.
So it's kind of like, okay, what do you want to do? So I started to just put myself out there, like, little by little. And when I got good feedback, I was noticing, like, the only thing I'm getting is good feedback. Like, you know, you have your hater here and there.
Right,
but
trolls.
Right.
See you.
You have your hater here and there, but it wasn't, like, you know, like, there was a lot of positivity more than negativity. So I was like, okay, so that encouraged me to keep going. And that was coming from something like when I never ever told a soul that I rapped. Like, some of my closest friends didn't even know I rapped. Right. So when they see me on, like, Instagram, they're like, what the hell? Like, who is this? You know? And so it was just a really shocking, like, experience. And then when the whole Cardi B thing happened, I remember being like, what the hell?
For those that don't know what the Cardi B thing is, can you tell us, like, what happened?
So I had been doing, like, these car rap videos, right? Everybody asked me, why are you always in your car? Why are you always in your car? I just think it's so much better because you, like, you know, put the aux in and you just hear it, like, you're live.
She got her little studio, right?
Literally.
The car studio. Hit me up, I'm in the stew.
Exactly. You're, like, live. So I was like, okay, like, you know, I had been doing that, and I was doing, like, raps to other people's instrumentals. And I remember, and you know what, shout out my little brother, because I never gave him credit on, like, the videography.
Damn.
So shout out to my brother, but he would, like, literally be, like, in the steering wheel trying to get, like, the angle of, like, the sun. And, you know, he was just, like, dude, he was just the shit, like, honestly. But
shout out to your brother. What's your brother's name?
Isaac. Shout out to Isaac.
What up, Isaac? Thank you for making it happen.
Exactly. And I remember that one, I was so pissed off because I wasn't getting it. I was like, let's just do it one more time. So I did it. And then, like I said, he was in the steering wheel and his elbow hit the windshield wipers.
Oh,
and I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to do this again. And my dad's like, just post that one. That one's it. Like, that's the one. So, and they're like, again, like, my family was the only one who knew I rapped, you know? And my dad's like, that's the one. Watch. So I posted it, and I had been tagging artists, and little old me didn't think, you know, like, these people are going to recognize you. Right. I was just, like, doing it just to do it. So I had tagged Cardi, and then maybe, like, 2-3 days after, I was like, oh my God, she had reposted it. My phone was blowing up. My Instagram was going up. Like, it was just insane. And I was this close to not posting it because the windshield wipers went off.
But you did it. You posted it, and it went out. What artists did you listen to? I'm just so curious. Growing up, that, you know, because I feel like what you reflect out is kind of like whatever you were taking in. Like, were there any artists that inspired you early on?
Honestly, like, growing up, I listened to a lot of, like, range, like, super range, like, from Rick James and, like, Tina Marie to, like, you know, Tupac and Biggie to, like you said, Foxy Brown to, like, Lil' Kim. I listened to so much range, and, like, you know, and then kind of like when I got into high school, who was my guy was J. Cole. Like, I would just listen to him in, like, such depth and listen to what he was actually saying. Yeah. So I kind of, like, mixed, and then of course Beyonce. I gotta give Beyonce credit because she's so poised. But, you know, like, I kind of mixed it into, like, one big pot and kind of, like, was real, but also being, like, a lady, you know, and spitting real shit with, like, competing with big guys, but also, like, keeping it classy, you know. So I felt like that's where I found my voice, because I mixed everything that I was absorbed with, you know.
Why is it important for you to find that balance, you know, and to put things out with stories, with depth to it, where, I mean, I feel like you could rap about the tajin or whatever it may be, when people, like, nowadays, a lot of rappers ain't rapping about anything really. So why is that important for you to have something to be rapping about?
I think it's really important to do that because it's like you are what you attract, or, you know, and the things you want from people, or, like, you know, like, respect and, like, oh damn, like, looking at you on a different light. Like, you also have to put yourself out there thinking that you're already that, you know. You can't really, I always keep it classy, not try, but I always keep it classy just because it's like, that's what you want in return from people. You know, I'm always respectful because that's what you want in return from people, you know. And me personally, like, I'm trying to have, like, I need to start manifesting.
Yeah, you do. You have to just say it, like, it's happening because the universe is listening and it's going to make it happen.
Exactly.
So you speak it into existence.
Exactly. But I'm going to have, like, a long career, you know. And if you're, like I told you earlier, we were talking about this, like, if you are only rapping about one thing and you're sticking to one certain subject, it's like, people are going to get tired of that, and it's like you have to have range. And I feel like that's something that I've worked really hard to do.
And I really feel it in your music. You recently dropped a track called Ain't It Funny that I've listened to over and over again. It's really refreshing because what you're talking about in there is true. There aren't any lies. I didn't hear any lies. I've had these conversations with several of my girlfriends. So it's a conversation that's happening, but like nobody else has really addressed it full on. For those that haven't gotten a chance to listen to Ain't It Funny, can you talk about what inspired you to release this song and what you're talking about?
So like what really, like if we're being raw, what really inspired me to write this song was I was one day caught myself on TikTok and just listening to like the sounds of like some of these female rappers and what they're saying. It just, I am thinking to myself, like, it's crazy how we've normalized this like nonsensical music, and it's like not in a bad way, but it's also like you're not really talking about anything, and because we have a generation of like these little kids at home, and like online school and on the phone and on TikTok, and that's the thing, like that's their going out and playing time,
right?
It's like you're really feeding them like bullshit in a sense, and that really pissed me off. So I hopped in the studio and I was like, press record. So
is there any verse, could you drop for us a piece of the song at all? Or?
I think my favorite part of that whole thing was when I said like basically, like you have to listen to it, but my favorite part was in the beginning where I was like, as a rapper, I don't understand where you are coming from because I just don't understand it. Like I just don't. Like that is my whole thing, and that whole song is just like, I'm a rapper, and how are you a rapper? And I don't understand at all where you're coming from.
Do you think that hip hop in itself has changed so much? Where like I feel like the standard has dropped as to what is hip hop, what is rap. That like now it feels like this huge mix of like anybody who wants to become a rapper can pretty much become a rapper.
Right.
Like because also like people are getting that overnight success, that instant gratification. Like, you're it because your song blows up on TikTok, on Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever it may be. There's so many different forms of putting your music or your art out there that, if some child goes and creates a challenge out of your song, you blow up overnight, and it's now hip hop, it's now rap.
You're it.
But
exactly.
More importantly, I think that the subject matter of that song, Ain't It Funny, you're talking about specifically calling out the female rappers, and because they are over sexualizing their lyrics, talking about getting laid to get these bags and getting money,
right.
It's all about like their private parts and getting these bags. And I do have to agree that it's the wrong message that's being sent to young girls. And as we were talking off camera, I said I do not believe that it's any musician. I don't care if you're a rapper or not. I don't believe, because there's other musicians that be singing about some crazy shit too. And it's not just in hip hop. That it's not their responsibility to raise your child, but it is, as an artist, still a responsibility.
Right. That's where it's that fine line of keeping it classy, but also stepping over the line where you're bold enough to stand out and make a name for yourself. I think that's a very thin line that gets often like, just you can't see it. Like it's blind
blurred
to people. But I just, like I always say, like every female rapper in the game right now, you're in your bag. Congrats, because you're eating on a different level than like everybody else is eating, and you've made a name for yourself, and like hats off, literally hats off. All I'm saying is like, me personally, it's just a different story, like if you think about it, like what you're saying about the TikTok stuff, it's so true. It is so true. Like you have your song virally blow up and go everywhere on TikTok, and you think you made it. That kind of makes you look like on a different level from people like somebody like Nipsey Hussle, who was literally standing out there passing out his CDs, passing out his CDs. Or like Kendrick Lamar, you got told no so many times. Or like J. Cole literally sitting outside of Jay-Z's like freaking area where he was waiting to get his thing heard. That's a different type of hustle. And I felt like when people you got to be thankful, like, if your shit blows up in this time, because I get times are different. You know, if it blows up on TikTok, like, come in the game humbly if you're trying to stay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and for you as an artist, where it feels like there's this oversaturation right now of music left and right, especially in the rap game, how are you setting yourself up to be different from what's already there?
You know what? I think that I'm setting myself up in a way, like, just coming in the game. Like, I already have so many odds against me, because I'm coming in a rap game as a female and as a Latina and from Mexican descent. So that's already like a harsh, you know, like a big mountain to climb up. But I think what's gonna, like, you know, separate me from everybody else is, like, I'm spitting about real shit. I'm talking about stuff people can relate to. I'm talking about, like, you know, sometimes, like, people don't know how to get through something, and I feel like it's my responsibility to kind of coach them through that through music. Get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's something that's going to differentiate me from a lot of people, especially with young girls in this stage of where they're growing up, you know?
That's super important, you know, that I feel like you have a really good head over your shoulders, because you are aware of that power, you know, of the platform that you're about to take on.
Right.
And it's really important to have a message. And for example, like, one of my favorite rappers, and everybody knows this, is Tupac. And Tupac wasn't always a conscious rapper, right? He has his other records where he's talking about hoes and this and that, and but he has very conscious raps, and he is a very good storyteller. And that's why, like, I like say there's like bad days, like, I'll go and I'll listen to some Pac, because there's something there that uplifts me, that makes me feel better, you know. And it's that, what are you really trying to do? Do you want a one hit wonder, you know, like, just do a hit so it could be played right now, or with this little challenge? Or do you want to create music that's gonna last a lifetime, really, you know? And where it's really unfortunate, you know, that we've lost some greats like Tupac, like Biggie, like Nipsey Hussle, but we have a beautiful catalog coming from them, things that, you know, outlast time, you know, and the physicality of somebody, and that does change. It really does change somebody, you know. Where do you see yourself going now? Like, if we say, where do you want to be a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years, in your ideal world, what would that look like?
You know, in like a year from now, I definitely want to see myself on a bigger platform. You know, like, that comes from hard work and stuff like that. But I definitely think that I can achieve that. A bigger platform, a bigger, you know, just a bigger everything, like, around, like, all around. Like, I want to put out more music. I'm finally independent now, so it's like I get to have the freedom and my creativity back and stuff like that. So I just want to go hard and go bigger and go everything. Like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. You know? You also mentioned something that I think is really important to talk about, because you said, you know, some of the challenges that you do face is being a female rapper, and on top of that, being a Mexican female rapper. What are some of the challenges that you have faced? I know I've had the same talk many times with my girls to know the product, but I'm interested in, like, what your path has been like. What are some of those challenges that you've seen?
Honestly, I mean, I've seen a lot of that. Like, it's a lot of, like, if I looked a different way, or I talked about a different thing, I would be on by now. You know, I'd be definitely in some bigger doors, and I might have had, like, a few yeses rather than nos. But it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just like I said, it's a very steep hill I'm climbing up, and it's worth it.
What do your parents say about you chasing after this dream? I know that your dad was supportive, because he was like, put that video up. That needs to go up. That's the one. What does your mom say?
She's the same way. I'm honestly very, very, very thankful to have supportive parents, you know, especially because, like I said, once I graduated high school, like, I feel like in high school I was really encouraged to, you know, do good in school, which it is, and then, you know, like, make sure you go to college. It doesn't matter if you're in, like, $1,000 of debt, but make sure you go to college and
go get that degree that you might not get a job.
Exactly. So I felt that, and, like, in high school, like, that was, like, the mentality. So it was like I worked hard, and I ended up getting, like, a free scholarship. So I had all 4 years free, and I remember being there for, like, 2 months and just sitting there looking around, like, there's nobody's life I want here. Like, I just can't do this. I feel like I'm taking somebody's spot. I feel like I'm taking somebody's like scholarship money. I feel like this is just not for me. And I remember there was times like where I was so scared to tell my mom that like I didn't want to go to school, like because they looked at you like, what the hell, like if I had that and like when I'm your age, like if I had that, why the hell are you throwing that away? But in my eyes, like it just didn't feel like I was throwing it away. It was more like, you know, when you get something that you just thought you wanted and it just wasn't it. And I felt that, and I remember telling her, like, everybody's so scared to like tell her I didn't want to go to school anymore, and be like, oh, she's like, you're going to school? I'm like, yeah. And I would go to like Starbucks to write music, and I wouldn't go to school.
Right. Let me write this rhyme real quick.
Yeah, like I would go to Starbucks to literally sit there and like write music just because like to kill time so I wasn't at the house. And I finally sat them both down. I'm like, look, you guys are going to kill me. You guys are going to kill me, but I dropped out.
Oh, you didn't discuss it with
them?
them?
No, I didn't discuss it because I didn't want to be like persuaded into something else. Like I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So I dropped out, and it was like that for a whole week. Nobody talked to me. It was a rough patch, but you know, it's worth it. You know, when you bet on yourself, and sometimes it's more scarier to be uncomfortable. For me, like I think that scares me the most because I'm speaking for myself. But I feel like people often keep themselves in like a little bubble because they're scared of being uncomfortable. But what scares me is how easy it is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know.
I think it's a harder thing for me as well, just getting too comfortable, because then you're just complacent. You're just complacent with whatever is, instead of chasing after what you really want.
Right.
And like that's what I say, like a lot of people, you know, that have jobs, you know, just to have jobs, like for what? You know, then that's when you like wake up unhappy every day, going to this job that you're not really happy, like
paying attention to your nightmare.
You have to really pay. That was really like gutsy of you to go and drop out without having that discussion, to come later, especially to Latino parents, and be like, I dropped out. This is what it is.
Literally,
I'm a rapper.
Literally. It was like so scary. It was so freaking scary. And there was like that point too, like, you know, when you jump off a cliff and it's like you don't automatically jump and like soar, you know, you like jump and you take a dive. And I was like, the whole point, I'm like, oh my God, there has to be a point where I pick up some wind here, you know. And it's just it was a very like easy life, not easy, but it was a very right life lesson. You know, you always got to bet on yourself and bet, you know, just because you rely on yourself, like you're betting on yourself. That's a very, very, very hard thing to do, but it's easy to somebody who, when you have that fire lit underneath your ass, you know.
I love that. I know that you were supposed to go on a mini tour early 2020, but of course, a lot of our lives changed completely in 2020, and plans got changed. How did that affect you, or like what are you working through to still make that mini tour happen? Because it still has to happen.
Has to happen. So I feel like when I was with like when I did the Kaleidoscope album or little EP that I released, it was a learning experience on a lot of things. I was with the label. It was kind of like a rough patch, you know, between creativity wise. You know, it was a lot of delay, and it was a lot of like trial and error, you know, like you're learning as you're going. So that will always be my baby. But now that I'm independent, you know, I'm always keeping that music out there, but I'm working on a new EP that I'm going to drop on June 25th.
Oh, she has a date.
So, yes, I finally locked in a date.
What are we calling this EP? Do you have a name yet?
No, I don't know yet.
No?
It's a baby.
Oh, what should she call her EP?
Exactly.
Let's figure this out. I want you guys to find a name for her EP. We're going to get her a name. I have a feeling that she probably already knows. I know she has to already be playing with some, but let's play along with her and try to get her a name and figure out what she's going to call this EP. Do you have any other songs already in place for this EP?
They're all done. It's just a matter of putting it. Yeah, it's just a matter of putting it together. It's all complete minus 2, and it's because 2 I barely picked up like last week, so I decided I'm gonna add those on there. But everything else is ready to go.
What is the creative process for you like? Do you start off with like the hook? Do you have the beat first? Like, what is it like? Where do you start? Do you have the name for the track first, and then you go off and writing? Or how does it happen for you?
I think it's like really different. It's different every time. Like I normally like will listen to a beat. I'm like, okay, that sounds good, and I'll get a feel. Like it'll come to me of what that song is gonna be about. But then there's other times where we're in the studio and it's just a different vibe. Like I'll just be like, okay, press record, like whatever's gonna
I'm
go,
off.
Gonna go.
I'm gonna go off on y'all.
There's a different vibe then, and then there's another vibe where it's like, okay, like I hear the beat and I think like, oh, that'll be perfect for something I wrote like 2 days ago. So I'll piece that together. So it's just like, it's really how I feel that day. Like it's kind of moody, but it's exactly how I feel that day.
I like that. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you're going to put out in the CP, because I also hear a lot of like this transition I feel that other artists have gone through when you leave the label, where now you have the freedom of your creativity, whereas before sometimes, you know, like that clashes with a label because it's like they want to put an image out, or they want you to have this sound, and it's like, but that's not what I am. So I'm really excited for you, and I'm happy that you fought for that, and that you have your freedom and your liberty to be Malaynah, because at the end of the day, like, this is your art, and you have to be completely responsible and in control of what gets put out there, you know, because I feel like a lot of different artists either get sucked into the money, the pressure, whatever it is, that it's like, oh no, I'm here now, I have to take this opportunity, or I'm never going to have it. But you know, that's really brave of you. What would your message be to any young artist that is trying to follow in the same footsteps?
Honestly, my message to you would be like, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You're going to be really uncomfortable for a long time, but that just means you're growing. That's it. Then there's nothing
growing
wrong.
Pains.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with taking yourself and planting yourself somewhere where you want to be, you know, and that takes a big process. But I feel like if you just believe in yourself and bet on yourself, you're going to get you to where you want to be. It's that simple.
You mentioned this several times today, betting on yourself. I know that it's clear as day as to what it means, but what does that really mean to you? Because it's almost like a personal mantra.
It is. I think it just means like, you know, when you rely on others, like that's time consuming. When you expect others, or you expect yourself, I should say, from others, I feel like that kind of just delays like your process. It's your journey. I feel like you should bet on yourself a lot of the times. Like, you know, it's just, it gets you to where you want to be. And I feel like it's better to rely on yourself than to rely on others to make shit happen for you.
Hey, you have to be your number one supporter, your number one believer, because if you're not in your own corner, you're not going to get everybody else together in your corner.
Exactly. Like, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to fuck with you. Like, not everybody's going to think you're the shit. Like, you have to come in there with a certain level of confidence that, like, you know what, I am. Let me show you, like, kind of thing.
We were talking about this earlier on about social media as well. Like, how do you deal with social media? Because it's a really icky place. It's a place that can be really great. For example, like that's where you got a lot of recognition from putting that freestyle out, and people, that's how I discovered you. But at the same time, there's also a lot of people that just sit there with so much time on their hands and just want to hate. No reason. Like, they'll just be saying some really mean things because it's so easy, you know, to be a gangsta over the keyboard. It is. How do you deal with social media?
You know what? I try not to be on my phone a lot. You know, I'm on there when I need to be on there, and then that's it. But, you know, when, like, my mom always kind of told me, like, when she kind of sat me down one day and, like, had that conversation, she's like, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to think you're shit. Somebody's going to say, like, her head's too big, or she needs a bigger butt, or she has no boobs. Like, everybody's going to find something to pick. So if you sit there and let that, like, fuck with your head, you're going to, like, distract yourself from going up, you know? So I don't really pay attention to, like, the hating comments, you know? But I also have a lot of freaking stalkers. I have stalkers that are so weird. Like, there's some guy on here, like, I just laugh at this guy. He creates, like, freaking fake, like, that guy.
This tiger?
Yeah, he literally creates, like, fake.
I don't know who
the fuck it is either.
He sounds crazy.
He is, and it's so funny.
You're a loser.
I know, it's so funny. Me and my mom would crack up, and then, like, they'll harass, like, my whole family. I'm like, you guys are so annoying. Go read a book. Honestly.
He probably wouldn't know what a book is even if he got hit in it with the face.
Literally.
But listen, it was an absolute pleasure having you here. The last question I'm going to ask you, actually 2 more questions, sorry. Okay. Your top 3 collaborations, either dead or alive, what would they be?
Ooh, that's hard. Okay, let's go. Top collaborations, for sure, would be J. Cole.
Okay.
Number 1.
Good one.
J. Cole. we'll do Beyonce just because it's
I
like
knew
a
she was gonna say
fangirl
Beyonce.
moment. Yeah. Beyonce, and I think honestly Tina Marie.
Oh, okay.
On a hook, that would sound insane.
Okay, Malaynah, there
Top
you
3.
go. Now, you're very young, but still,
Mhm.
what advice would you give a young Malaynah?
What advice? I honestly would tell my younger self, like, let me see. God, I would tell my younger self so much shit. You're right where you're right where you're supposed to be. You know, don't doubt yourself. It's funny to others when you doubt yourself, like you look dumb.
I love that message. And with that, we have our ceviche. We got to know a little bit more about Malaynah. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, be on the lookout because Malaynah has an EP coming out June, you said, right?
June 25th.
June 25th. She doesn't want to tell us the name yet. I know she has a name, but for whatever reason, she's keeping it to herself. That's fine. Now, let everybody know where they can find you, where they can stream your music and follow you.
Okay, everything is Malaynah. From my YouTube to my Instagram to my Apple Music name, it's Malaynah, Malaynah.
Boom, you heard it. Y'all take care, okay?
Bye, guys.
Bye. Let's see. Sure.